morning, everybody. My name is Robert Bridges. I am a candidate for Columbus City Council, but I didn't come down here today to talk to you as a candidate for Columbus City Council. I am a citizen of Columbus. I work right down the street over off Broad and James. I'm in this neighborhood every day. I'm in your alleys. I'm on your side streets. I see what's going on with my own eyes. By my occupation, it affords me the opportunity to see that. Not only do I see it on this side of town, I see it on the south end. I see it on the west side, in the bottoms. People over in the bottoms are just as angry as you are. They're like, where's our help? Why are they helping build up the downtown when we got people dying over here? Same thing happening over here on the east side. They want to go out, well, they want it, they did. Voted to purchase an arena with the casino revenue that hasn't even been generated yet. What kind of logic is that? When the voters of Columbus voted this casino in, we did it because we were led to believe that the tax revenue coming from it would go to bolster essential services. How are we going to fund more police and more fire when that money is being directed to go to a casino? To an arena, I'm sorry. I wrote a speech this morning as I was sitting getting ready to come here today. And I've always been told never to read, always speak from the heart. But there are some points on here I want to bring out. Folks, I must remind you, I am not a professional politician. I am not an attorney. And until 3 months ago, I wasn't a public speaker. So please bear with me. My neighborhood isn't so different from yours, and I'd like to stand with you and ask the same questions. Why is nothing being done? Why aren't we being listened to? Folks, I'm here to tell you today. You see these? That's one thing I am good at, is listening. Because in my occupation, I get to see people in their worst moments, some of their worst moments, when they feel lost and hopeless and don't have an inkling and an idea of what to do. And so they talk to me. I have a pretty big shoulder. I have some ears. And sometimes I get to offer good advice to them. Everybody in this room cares enough to organize block watches, civic associations, have social media pages. You care enough to be involved. The very least you deserve is to be listened to. I too share your anger, and I share your concern. And I agree. Enough is enough. We need a change. People should not live in fear because their local government has failed in its basic role to protect its citizens. Everybody, you all live here. You already know what the problem is, and you probably got some good solid ideas on how to fix it. Someone just needs to listen. I am a family man. I don't live in Italian Village. I don't live in German Village. To be truthful, I live in a 2-bedroom apartment up on the north end. Okay? When I moved in there, it was starting to come back around again to be a nice, viable place to live. When I started working in Columbus 12 years ago, you couldn't drive in there without getting shot up. We need to encourage better relationships between police and neighborhood associations. Not saying you guys got it going on. People over on the west side, on the far south, especially up where I live on the north end. But most importantly, we need to stop this revolving door of catch and release. All the work our fine officers do is wasted if violent offenders aren't even seeing a judge. Especially if they're allowed to plead down to nothing and walk out like it was a big mistake. Ha-ha, nothing to me. We need to work with the city attorney's office on joint initiatives that will address these issues. We owe it to the residents of Columbus to explore every available option. It is a terrible shame that the residents of this great historic neighborhood had to schedule a press conference just to get someone to pay attention to you. Such drastic measures should not be necessary. And as I have understood it, you have tried several times and your pleas have fallen on deaf ears. The death tolls rose last week, and what did this council do? They put a moratorium on legal businesses. Appointed Councilwoman Mills said last week at Mount Vernon AME, when asked about crime and violence, that when she gets that call at 3 o'clock in the morning, she springs into action. Well, I wonder when she's springing into action if she's grabbing her cape and the S on her chest. I wish it were true, folks. I really do. Because we may not have to be here today because of it. Just last week, another 4 violent crimes occurred. It's too bad the city council can't see past the shadow of the casino to deal with the other things that are happening in our city, such as crime. We are dealing with it every day. With a shrinking economy, this council decided to use projected casino revenue to buy a nationwide arena. I know I'm sounding a little redundant here, I'm sorry. But they're taking this and not using it to bolster the city block watches, not to hire more 911 operators, not to put more boots, officers, out there with you, but to protect interest of nationwide. To me, that sounds a little like crony capitalism. When the safety of the citizens of Columbus is needed most, I demand that city leaders stop worrying so much about the potholes and focus more on crime. I demand that they tell us how things are going to get better when they've already spent the money they should have been used to replace the retiring police officers that we have. Folks, we got a big problem coming up. We've had an 8-year warning that we're going to be losing safety forces. And here we are, at the 11th hour, with no plan. The taxpayers are too afraid to enjoy their city parks, too afraid to let